All right, so I want to show you how you can update your group class listings. So if you come down here on your group classes page, this section is auto-generated. So it's auto-generated from a plugin on the back end called Modern Event Calendar, which is probably more information than you'll usually need to know, but I want to just quickly show you how you can add things or edit things that are listed here. So I'm on the front end right now, but I am logged in. So when you log in, by default, it drops you here. Again, you can get back and forth just by going up to this top bar where it says Whiskers and Wags. You can click Visit Site. Or if you're up here, when you're on the front end of your site, it offers you the option to go to your dashboard. So from the dashboard, we're going to come down to where it says ME Calendar, All Events. This will show you all of the events currently scheduled or set up there. So if I wanted to edit an existing event, I could just come here and hover over the event that I want to work on, and then click on Edit. You'll see a little Edit button appears based on where I hover my mouse. And then I can change the details here. So this has, this class is for, it has a little description information, it has the pricing information. This is the written description. So if I hit Preview here, this is this piece of the event. Now, if I, sorry, I opened a new tab and realized that the video editor cuts off the tabs option here. But then if I want to change dates or times, if I scroll down a little bit, it's got the start date, the end date, the times. Now, what I usually do is I leave the start date and the end date the same. So for the same day, so 2/19 would be the first time this class would meet. And then I just put it weekly and repeat every week, 1 week apart. You make sure you check the event repeating. And then down here you say end after 6 for 6 weeks of class. But you could edit all of the start date, the times, the number of times the class will repeat stuff in here. And I'll go through all this in a little more detail in a second when I show you how to create a new event from scratch. So your event cost is then down here. And then once you made all the edits that you need to make, you just make sure you hit the update button here, and it's all set. All right, so let's talk about creating a new event from scratch. I'm going to go back to my All Events page and show you there are 3 options for creating a new event. The first is to come up here to where it says New, and I can create an event directly from here. The second is to go to All Events, and there's this Add Event button. The third is when I come to ME Calendar, one of the options here is Add Event. All 3 do the exact same thing. It's just whichever one you want to click on. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And it brings me to a blank event template here. So you're going to put in the title up here, and this will be what shows up on that group event page. That'll be what shows there before they click on it. So we've been doing something like Scent Work weekly on Tuesdays, kind of as your event names. You put in your description here. That's kind of the information you've been including, is a little bit on the description, a little bit about how many students are in the class, maybe some pricing information. Then we'll scroll down. You'll choose the start date for the class, the start time for the class. So let's say it was 8 p.m. And you can either leave this blank or you can set it the same as the start date. It's up to you. And then we'll just do hide event end time because we don't actually need that to show up. Now, time comment, you could put in your time zone here if you wanted to, and it'll show up next to the time on the event. Or you can just leave this blank because most of your students are going to be in the same time zone that you are. So it's not really important for you. It's more important for folks that are doing nationwide or international events. If I scroll down a little bit more, there is a location option. I've chosen not to use that for yours. I figure if you need to do different locations, you can include that in the description. But there is an option for that. And if you get to the point where you want to use that, let me know, and I'm happy to show you. Event links, these were if you were, say, doing a seminar at another location, you could add a link for people to click to take them to somebody else's website. But for your purposes, you don't really need that. You don't really need the event organizer. You do probably want to put in a cost, so let's just stick that in there for now. Once you've got all of the fields kind of filled out, so you just kind of walk through, you fill out the description, you fill out the start date. You can skip this, you can skip this, you can skip this, and you can skip this. Then you just put in your event cost. Then you want to come over here and look at this right-hand column. So I'm going to show you a couple of things here. You can save it as a draft. And what that'll do is it'll save it, but it won't publish it live to the website yet, so that you can come back in, finalize it later. Let's say you wanted to set up all of your classes for the next 3 months, but you didn't actually want them all on the website yet. You could use that, save them as drafts, and then come in later to publish them. Sorry, the dog has found a chew to throw against the floor. Later you could come publish them. When you're ready to publish, you can hit publish, and that'll make it live on the website. You also have this option here that says publish immediately. You can always click edit and set it to publish at a future date or time, or a past date or time. Either one is fine. So for example, if I knew that I didn't want this class to go up on my website until after the current session ends. So let's say I have a session that's ending on Friday, but I want this up so that, but I'm on the website now, I'm making edits, and I want this to go up the following Friday, which is when I want to start taking students for the next session of this class. I could set this date to whatever Friday's date is, next Friday's date is, so that it's not on the website until then, but it'll automatically publish it for me. If I save it as a draft instead, you'll see if I change this to be like 25 and then hit OK, this becomes schedule, and that schedules it to go out in the future. If instead, I wanted to save it just as a draft, then it won't automatically publish ever, and I'll have to come back in and manually publish it. I'm not going to hit publish, but that is what you would push to make it live on the website. There's one more thing here that we do need to edit, and that's down here at this event color. By default, it has this obnoxious feature for you to color code events. I don't use that, so I just set this as white for all of them so that it doesn't put a little colored dot on your event calendar. No idea why it wants to do that, but it does. So I just always set it to white, and that just makes it disappear. If you wanted an event, you could also set a featured image, but I haven't used that in any of the existing ones, so you probably don't need to worry about that. When you're all done, again, you just hit publish, and then it'll go live on the website. Now, I don't actually want this one to go on the website, so I'm actually going to hit move to trash instead, and that'll just trash it for me. But that is how you'd add a new event or how you'd edit an existing event. Let me know if you have questions.